as it is Basant, more like that. Yeah, more like a circus it was. So let's talk about something related to the kites. I did write a poem, and it was something that I learned from two white kites. Actually, yes. So what it is about is it was a night of Shab-e Miraj. That's what I think. It was a Shab-e Miraj, the night of Miraj, and and I was there on my roof and I was walking, yep, and I was walking and sending salutations on our Prophet, peace be upon him. Yes, and I saw upwards and I looked upwards and I saw two kites, yep, and both of them they were white, and I wrote this piece on them. I'm going to share it with you. Maybe you also learn something, as I also did, yes. I saw two white kites on a blessed night, as it was, yes. I saw two white kites on a blessed night, rotating sides, flying high. One hold, one bold, one on hold, yes. As soon as it started the fight, bold dashed with all its might. The other kite, it maintained its stance right. The bold showing off got cut off. Yes, it is a direct, brief poem, but it carries a deep message, a message that is really insightful for me at least, yes. So to say that again and to explain that in simple words, it's simple actually, it is already simple. Yeah. I saw two white kites on a blessed night, rotating sides, as the kites do obviously, flying high. They were on an altitude, yep. As soon as it started to fight, you know the kite, they fight with each other. On a pecha kandene, like you will understand, like the kite, they fight for their lives so that whichever cuts first, it's done. Yeah. So as soon as it started to fight, as soon as the fight started, the bold dashed with all its might, and the bold, the kite that was moving aloud and boom, rotating all the best of the sides, and being an art piece, like yes, I am moving in an artistic, entertaining way, and I can cut any kite that is in my way, you know. The bold, it dashed with all its might, but the other one, the one kite that was on hold, the kite that is just moving with the wind and is calm. So the other kite, it maintained its stance right. The bold showing off, it got cut off. So the bold it was moving, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, view, view, view. And it got cut once its thread, door candle, once its thread, it met with the thread of the other kite, and obviously the thread of the bold kite, it was more like tense, there was a tension in the thread of that kite, the one that is bold. Once the tension is created, there is no elasticity, and the other kite, it had calm stance. It had that elasticity, and the flip in it, it caused the tense thread, the bold ones, to be just done. What do you learn from that? There are different sort of strengths and different sort of powers. Some powers, they are calm and calculated. Some power, they are always in an offensive stance rather than defensive, and they have that chaos in them, not calculated, fierce. Yes, it's a type of power, and the other type of power is more like calm and calculated. The chaos, it is normal for that, and it is quite confident that it can deal with that chaos. So when a person on its pursuit of power, yep, when they're first introduced to several situations that are quite chaotic, they just get, they just become the chaos as well. They just attack and attack and attack, and it is their way of power. Yep. But with experience and with learning and with time, those chaotic situations, they just become normalized for them, and they're just calm and calculated, and it is quite normal for them, and they're confident in themselves that they can handle that situation quite impressively. So this is what I'm trying to say. The bold, yes, the kid who was flying the bold kite, maybe it's the first time of him flying a kite. Not the first, because it was moving at a good pace. Maybe, but it is still new, comparatively new to the experience, as it is giving that kid sort of a euphoria, a passion of the flying kites. Whereas the other person whose kite, it was calm and aligning with the wind and just floating in the air with the elasticity in the thread. Maybe the person who was flying the calm kite, it's normal for the person. Yes, this is the thing that you will find common in the old men, the calm and calculated. No matter how chaotic the situation is, they don't get impulsive. They don't get all buffed up and all gassed up. Like, yes, now is the time to prove myself, and now is the time to get all active. They forget the tactics. So I really think that I really learned from that, actually, and it has really influenced my life. Not even that way. Actually, those stages are also important. The stages of being impulsive, the stages of being on an offensive mode, the attack and attack and attack. It is also important, really, because this is the pure way of feeding one's self pure data. Then and only then, on the basis of that data, the person in the future, when they're calm and calculated, they get that calculated intuition on which they act, and on which their confidence it stands on. So I really think that it is important. All the experiences of life, they are really important. A man has to a kid first crawls, then that kid gets the nourishment, and they grew up into a man. Then only then they're capable of sprinting. So it is a whole procedure. This was my poem, Two White Kites, or maybe White Kites are right to fight. It is something, yes. So this is the way of learning, actually, for me at least. This is how I have always been. I've learned from the pure, live. I've learned most from the nature, actually. I have lived a considerate part of my life in the nature, really, and I have learned a lot from the way the nature is. It is ruthless, it is sacred often, and it really tells a lot. So nature, it is something, and I've learned a lot from it. The kites, they also taught me this lesson. You don't always have to be bold. It is not even a lesson, you know. It is just a fact. It is what it is. The calm and the calculated strength and the way of operating, it will always have precedence over the chaos. Even though the creativity and chaos, they have a relation in between them, quite a well-known relation. But before creativity, there will always be destruction. Before creation comes destruction. Lord Beerus from the Dragon Ball